Good evening,
Good
sir. Good
evening,
evening.
Nayan.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, dear
Yes, good evening, sir. Good
student.
evening. Yes, sir. Namaste to
Once
everyone.
again, on behalf of IE Thane branch, I, Dr. Nishikant Jha, welcome you for a wonderful session on sources of finance. Basically, this is the session which is there in the syllabus of Mumbai Maharashtra Board SYJC 12th standard student. But I believe many of colleges and many of university also has this syllabus, this particular topic in UG program. And when it comes to finance, it's very important. What are the sources of finance? For what purposes we need the finance? Whether we need the finance for short-term purposes, then there should be short-term sources. Whether we need the finance for medium-term purposes, then it will be for medium-term sources. And if we need the finance for long-term purposes, then we should always go for long-term sources of finance. I need not have to disclose which particular sources, because that will reveal by the resource person, none other than Nayan sir. But it is very important because finance is the lifeblood for the business, and if you miss out the appropriate aspect of finance, and if you have not utilized in or if your financial planning or financial management aspect is not proper, definitely you are not going to operate appropriately. And the live case studies, if you want to do, you can have the case study of Jet Airways, you can have the case study of Kingfisher Airlines. These all big companies after 25 years and approaching to 30 years, when it comes to Jet Airways, they were supposed to shut down their business because there were improper planning of finance. So I will not go in detail, but to make this session interesting, I have started with this case study, this kind of approaches, which is very vital and important for all of us. एंड मैं तो जिंदगी की बातें बोलूंगा मेरे बच्चों, जो बहुत ही जरूरी है, जो हमने बहुत अपने लाइफ में सीखा है। मनुष्य के पास सबसे बड़ी पूंजी धन और बल किसी को गलत राह पे ले जा सकता है, क्योंकि धन और बल किसी को गलत राह पे ले जा सकता है, किंतु अच्छे विचार सदैव अच्छे कार्य करने के लिए ही प्रेरित करते हैं। तो हमारी जो पूंजी है वो अच्छे विचार हैं, और उसी विचार के वजह से हम आप लोगों के साथ इतने दिनों से जुड़े हुए हैं। वही विचार की वजह से आइए थाने ब्रांच आपके लिए इतने सारे वेबिनार कर रहे हैं। आइए थाने ब्रांच इतने सारे स्टूडेंट गाइडेंस लेक्चर रख रहे हैं। चाहे वो कोई भी स्टूडेंट हो, चाहे वो 12 प्लस 2 के बच्चे हों, यूजी के बच्चे हों, पीजी के बच्चे हों, कोई भी यूनिवर्सिटी फ्रॉम नॉर्थ इंडिया टू साउथ इंडिया, फ्रॉम ईस्ट इंडिया टू वेस्ट इंडिया, सबको हम लोगों ने कंसीडर किया। एंड जैसे हमारे चेयरमैन सर की विजन है कि आने वाले दिनों में वी आर गोइंग टू हैव द सेशन on maths and other subjects also. Economics we are starting next week only. Law already we have started. We have also had the session on psychology. We had lot of session on research. And you won't believe, with your love and affection, we are growing day by day. Only in last month, there was a view of our session, more than lakhs of people, lakhs of participants. So this is what is a punji for us. This is what अच्छे विचार हमारे साथ हैं, और ये हमारे जो विजन मिशन है, हमारी जो आइए थाने ब्रांच की विजन मिशन पॉलिसी है, जिसे हमने अरविंद सर ने और कुलदीप सर ने साथ में मिलके बनाया है, और हमारे सारे लाइफ मेंबर उसको फॉलो करते हैं। तो उसी के तहत आज हम लोग आपके पास sources of finance part 2 लेके आए हैं, which will be very interesting to you all. And I will request to give light on this none other than Chairman IA Thane branch, Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, who is also Chairman Board of Studies Accountancy, University of Mumbai, who is a live inspiration for us. He always motivate us, he always inspire us, he always guide us to go ahead with different kind of activity, and we are achieving those targeted whatever he is said by him. So his kind words of wisdom. So can we have Dr. Arvind Luhar sir for his kind of words of wisdom for sources of finance?
Yes, very good evening to all the participants from across the country. My very close, near and dear, the General Secretary, Indian Accounting Association, Thane chapter, Dr. Nishikant Jha, and these two are the left and the right, the wings of the plane, and the other wing is Dr. KULDEEP Sharma, Treasurer, Indian Accounting Association, Thane chapter. Our today's resource person, my own MPhil student, Mr. Nayan. Today Nayan is very lucky because we all three, the chairman, secretary, and the treasurer, we all three are present, and we are gracing this the webinar because finance is the lifeblood of any organization. So when it is a question of blood, so it is the duty of all the three dignitaries to remain present. Since our today's the participant, they are generally the junior college student, and there may be some students from the senior college, degree college, the teachers also, but generally in Maharashtra this topic is for the 12th standard student in secretarial practice, the sources of finance, part 2. In the last lecture also, our webinar also, I had put some light on what is sources of fund, how it is to be taken, and NISHIKANT JHA, he also has narrated. But since our participant, they are very young, and I believe that the best method of teaching is to teach by example. You teach less, you give more example. Whenever the teacher will follow this particular style of teaching, I am 1001% sure that even the average to average student will understand the topic. Because every learner is not having the same capacity to understand. Because when a teacher teaches, and assume that today there are 2000 participants who are listening or who will listen the lecture of our today's resource person, Mr. Nayan. But every individual will receive the knowledge is in own capacity. What base you are having, what the vocabulary you are having. So I will always request the resource person, whosoever coming online on the Indian Accounting Association portal, that you teach the student and you teach the participant, whether they are teacher, student, whomsoever. The best way is to teach them by way of example. You give them live example, and I believe that that resource person is the best who carry all the 2000, 5000, whomsoever is listening to you, you carry all of them. So you plan your mode, you plan your content, you plan your example in such a way that the person from the rural to the metro, the person from India, the person from outside the country can understand the crux of your lecture. You be live, your face should be very smiling, when you give the lecture, you connect with them. लाइफ में ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि आप जिन लोगों को लेक्चर्स दे रहे हो आप उन्हें कभी देख पाओगे. But even though your vibration reaches to them, your voice reaches to them, you are connecting to them by way of the waves, by way of the cosmic waves. So that cosmic waves is reaching to them. And you can teach by example only when you are very thorough in your subject. Otherwise, technical lecture anyone can give. You just go and read the book and you just take the points. I believe that don't pick up any book. If one topic is given to you, if you are a teacher for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, what you have understood, at your own you come out with the point. All those who are the learned authors, unke samne kaun si book? The best lecture is that which is having the zero plagiarism. Suppose if I speak today and in my speech, if you do the diction analysis, if zero plagiarism, if you are finding, I believe that that lecture will touch to your heart because there is a zero plagiarism. On any topic, you can deliver your lecture with zero plagiarism. For that, very good understanding, very good base is required and needed. We need teachers like this. We don't want that people should deliver when they are coming live and they deliver the bookish knowledge. We need the live examples. Suppose the today topic which is given to you, the sources of finance. Now COVID situation is there. Even now the recent example is of the government of India. Now the tax collection is very less because the trade and commerce is standstill. Revenue is not there. But the expenditure of the government is as it is. Government have to pay to the salary to their staff. The expenditure of the army, expenditure of the police. Okay, so there are the many areas where government is spending and return is nothing. Because aim of the government is not earning. It is a laissez-faire. The aim of the government is to provide the service to the citizen, the well-being. So always, any government, if you will see, their at the end, their financial position is in deficit because they are not concerned with the profit. Now the recent example of the government of India that the railway will be decentralized. On some routes, the railway, the task will be given to the railways, contract will be given to the railway. If you will see, the 15 years back, when on telephone, the monopoly was of only either the BSNL and MTNL. Even I remember in, if I recollect, in 96, 97, when at my residence, when we received the first landline phone after the 5 years waiting. We paid money in 92, we received connection in 97. But today, when the government have decentralized, when the government have done the disinvestment, Jio is there, Vodafone is there, Idea is there, what not is there. So whosoever will be fit in the competition will survive. So survival of the fittest is very, very important. And keeping in mind all these things, then you have to decide your sources of fund. If आपके जो फादर है, चाचा है, मदर है, उनको अगर आप कहोगे कि आपने मर्फी रेडियो का नाम सुना था, यस, मर्फी रेडियो, द नेशनल रेडियो, द बुश रेडियो, इफ यू विल ट्यून इट, द वन ऑफ द, अगर राजस्थान में बैठे हो तो आप जो है सीधा रेडियो इस्लामाबाद सुन सकते हो. एंड आई हैव सीन दैट. और आज के रेडियो आपका मुंबई का विविध भारती भी कवर कर ले, वो भी बहुत बड़ी बात. But so is running. So whosoever is a businessman, they have to see the taste, the preference, the competition, their competitor, the cost of the product, everything, and then they have to decide. अभी आपने देखा रहेगा तो जियो ने आपको कितने सालों तक फ्री में सर्विस दिया, फ्री में सर्विस दिया. Even though Jio was in profit, you learn the business model. We need teachers like this. They explain that yes, that Jio has also raised the thousands and crores of rupees. But even though they are in profit, they have not issued any share in the market. Still the Jio have not listed on the stock exchange. Jio is the biggest cash cow of the Reliance. For 1 year, they have provided the free service, even though they are in profit, and they have removed all their competitors from the market. UP will see the share price of the Idea, Vodafone, they combined together. It was of more than 2100. Today, the share of the Idea and Vodafone is, means today I have seen it is just the 10 rupees and 50 paisa. इन्होंने तो कोई फ्री में सर्विस नहीं दी, सबसे पैसा लिया, फिर भी लॉस में चले गए. So you learn the business model. Whenever the government rules change, whenever the new government comes, whenever the new invention takes place, everything change. You keep watch over it. जो इंसान समय के साथ नहीं चलता है, समय उसको उठा के फेंक देता. समय आपको झुकने के लिए भी बोलेगा, समय आपको सीधा खड़े रहने के लिए भी बोलेगा. जो समय की नजाकत नहीं समझेगा और हमेशा एकदम ठूंठ की तरह खड़ा रहेगा, तो पूरा का पूरा उड़ जाएगा. You be so flexible, but you be flexible only up to that extent that where your values, your ethics, your customs remain intact. You should not be a polluter. You should not be a polluter. And accordingly, you decide you are the source of finance. And now see, in the COVID period, the budget of the many houses is disturbed. हर कोई तो गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय नहीं है हमारे जैसा. बहुत सारे लोगों का सैलरी बंद होगा. पहले किसी का 50% आया होगा, 25% आया होगा. Now there may not be a salary. What is to be done? So you have to search that what could be the alternative source, because whenever there is a problem, every problem has a hidden solution. जिस प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन नहीं है वो प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है, वो उसको एक्सेप्ट कर दो. Find out the solution. Every issue, you take it from the live example, your surrounding, even though the local problem, local solution. Find out, you will get. I believe that today's resource person, Mr. Nayan, is competent enough to justify the content, context, and in the given scenario, how this the sources of finance topic is to be taught to the young, vibrant, the people of our nation, because they are the future of our country. हम इनको जो सिखाएंगे, इनको जो डिलीवर करेंगे, और मैं तो ये चाहता हूं कि हम ऐसे वैरायटी ऑफ टीचर्स लाए, ऐसे यूनिक टीचर्स लाए. They should not come and be just like a discipline and they show the attitude over here. We don't want. We want that they should connect. They should apply their mind. Because whenever we are live, we are dealing with the thousands of people, and these thousands of people, every individual, every participant is a micro unit, their need, their preference, their test, their requirement, and in the context in which they are studying, they are delivering, and they will be growing up is totally different. आपका एक शब्द, आपका एक एग्जाम्पल उनकी लाइफ चेंज कर सकता है. मुझे today I am chairman of the accountancy board, but when I was in 11th, मुझे सबसे ज्यादा परेशान ये accountancy ही करता था, because मेरा कभी भी सीखने समझने का तरीका नॉर्मल नहीं रहा है. Always my learning style was different, where 99% of the people can understand. I may be the alone student in the classroom who is not understanding. It doesn't mean that I'm this thing good for nothing. Every brain is different. Every brain is different. We have to respect. So whenever the teacher is coming live, they should come with the live examples. आपका हर lectures जो आने वाले सालों साल तक सुना जाएगा, people should see that yes, there is the YouTube channel of Dr. Nishikant Jha. Okay, if you will listen the topic of that particular channel, our everything will be very, very clear. With my these few words, I request Dr. Nishikant Jha to take the charge of the session in his hand and continue. Nishi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And we are assuring you, even the last FDP what we had on RM, we got lot of appraisal, and you have heard this from principal of Taiwade College, Saryo Taiwade ma'am. Especially messages went, and we have such kind of renowned speaker. Uh, I got many letters on our mail saying that you people are like God figure. Till the date we were not knowing RM. The way you have explained, the way you have put the example. I mean, we have seen those video 5 times, 6 times. So, sir, things are moving on that direction only under your able leadership, and that is why we get this kind of response. That is why our channel. And one more thing, my dear student, we have now 100 videos. So we have completed century within 2 months, very small span of time. Actually, the channel has been established in 2015, but the growth actual what we got in 2020. So again, it took 5 years, and this valuable period when we associated with IE Thane branch, and things are moving very, very effective. But it would not have been possible, as sir has rightly stated. We both are two wings, left and right wings, myself and Kuldeep sir. Sir, but without engine, it is not possible. So, yes, we are flying under your able leadership, and you have a very good confidence on these two wings. That is why today our organization is one of the best organization, one of the leading. Everywhere the examples has been quoted of IE Thane branch. So, of course, we are working very hard under your able leadership, sir. But your leadership is very, very important for us. And that is why we have selected good speakers. And we always keep, like you have seen yesterday also, Kuldeep sir was saying what exactly the feedback of participant. So, we take care of these aspects, sir. And we'll be definitely going to keep these things in mind for remaining speakers, remaining resource person also in days to come. Now, my dear student, of course, you must be, very patiently waiting for Kuldeep sir, his word of wisdom. And I will request our honorable treasurer, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma. He has more than a decade experience in teaching and administration. He is a board of studies member for banking, insurance, and investment management, University of Mumbai. He is a thorough gentleman. He is a man of principle. He is a excellent researcher of University of Mumbai. He is renowned researcher in University of Mumbai. He has written, he has authored many books, he has presented many papers. He has been to several universities across India for taking PhD viva voce. So I will request Kuldeep Sharma sir to propose a formal vote of thanks. Our Honorable Treasurer of IE Thane branch.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nishikant Jha, for giving a brief introduction about me. But I am not a speaker for the day. My job is only to propose vote of thanks. So, dear participant, don't get confused. It is really my pleasure and pride moment to propose vote of thanks for the event to all the dignitaries who have given their time to all of us. First of all, I will like to thank our chairman of Indian Accounting Association, Thana chapter, Dr. ARVIND LUHAR. Sir, he is also a chairman, Board of Studies of Accountancy, University of Mumbai, Academic Council member, head of Accountancy Department, Ismail Yusuf College, for his keynote address. Sir, your word of wisdom always gave us food for thought. Sir, your guidance and inspiration always motivate us to perform at various platforms across the globe. Sir, these two important quality of yours make you a true leader. And this is what the entire member of Indian Accounting Association has also witnessed how you have handled this association, and under your leadership we are growing. Thank you, sir, for being our chairman. Once again, sir, I thank you for sparing your time and enlighten us with your kind word. Thank you, sir. Now, how I can forget to express my vote of thanks to the most important person of our association, the General Secretary of our Indian Accounting Association, Thana Chapter, Dr. Nishikant Jha. Sir is also a member of Board of Studies in Accounts and Finance as well as Financial Management, University of Mumbai. He is also an Executive Council member of Indian Economic Association, Executive member of Maharashtra Commerce Association, Head of Accountancy, Thakkar College, for arranging this event and coordinating with Nayan sir. As correctly mentioned by Nishikant sir, we have crossed the video of more than 100, which is uploaded on YouTube channel of Nishikant sir. And this is not achieved in a day. It took several years to do so. So people who are thinking that it is quite simple to make a video and upload on a YouTube platform, my dear, there are lots of copyright. There are lots of legal issues which is involved in this kind of a video uploading. So we are looking after each and everything so that it will not create any kind of a problem to anyone. And this all utmost care will be taken by Dr. Nishikant sir, and because of him you can also see any video any moment of time. So this is an important learning platform which is created by him. He is also a research guide as well as MPhil guide, and I think all of you have already witnessed day before yesterday when he took a session on part 2 statistical tool. He explained with the example of how to make a movie with correlated with research, and that was excellent example. And I hope people have understood what are the important element in the research and how to go for it. Sir, thank you very much. You are one of the important pillar of our Indian Accounting Association, and without you, we cannot perform. As it is correctly said, in chess every player have its own role. Similarly, you have excellent role in Indian Accounting Association, and you are performing your role very well. Thank you very much, sir, for your support and with your kind work. Now, I would like to thank our speaker for the day, Shri Nayan Thakkar ji, who is also our MPhil student and still doing MPhil under ARVIND LUHAR sir, and is doing MPhil from KPP Hinduja College of Research Center. Thank you, Nayan sir, for giving your most valuable time to guide our student and faculty on a topic like source of finance. Finance is one of the important thing, and in Indian Accounting Association, the name itself mention accounts. Accounts and finance are very closely related with each other. So this is a correct platform where you can talk about finance. Nayan sir, you have also taken a session before that, so we are thank you for that also for your regular support to take your lecture, and in coming days also you are taking a lecture. So for that purpose, we are very much thankful to you, and I hope participant will take maximum advantage of his lecture on various source of finance. At the end, I would like to thank our technical team member Vignesh, Kanik, Shajit, and Harshal for their continuous support from backstage. I also like to thank our participants who are attending this lecture from different part of the world. We love you all. Please keep on, showing your support to us. Thank you very much once again to each of you. Now I request Nayan Thakkar sir to start his session. Over to you, Nayan.
Namaskar and good evening, everyone. Respected dignitaries, Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, Chairman, Indian Accounting Association Thane branch, and my guide and my teacher. Next, we welcome and thank Lion Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, General Secretary of Indian Accounting Association Thane branch, and Dr. KULDEEP Sharma sir, Treasurer, Indian Accounting Association Thane branch. Thank you for the wonderful words, Dr. KULDEEP Sharma sir. But addressing me as a teacher is very good. But sir, I am your student. I am the student of not only Kuldeep Sharma sir, but also I am very fortunate to be the student of Dr. Arvind Luhar sir and Dr. Nishikan Jha sir. Friends, I would like to talk to today our audience. Okay, friends, I am very fortunate today that my teachers have taken my care and they have provided me with this wonderful platform. I recollect before 5 to 6 years, Dr. Arvind Loar sir told me that I should join this very fine organization called as Indian Accounting Association. And when my sir guided, immediately I joined this organization before 4 to 5 years. It is really wonderful that I am among all of you. Thank you, Dr. Arvind Loar sir. Our Dr. Arvind Luhar sir is the chairman and of Board of Studies Accountancy in University of Mumbai. He is also a recognized guide of PhD and MPhil. At the same time, we thank Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, who is our Lion family member. Sir is General Secretary of Thane chapter as well as member of Board of Studies, as our Dr. Kuldeep Sharma said, of BAF and BFM in University of Mumbai. Dr. Nishikant Jha sir is also a recognized guide for PhD and MPhil in University of Mumbai. Next, we thank Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir. Sir is the treasurer of Indian Accounting Association Thane branch. Kuldeep Sharma sir is also a member of Board of Studies for Banking and Insurance and BIM in University of Mumbai. As Dr. Nishikant Jha sir said, sir is a recognized guide for MPhil and PhD in University of Mumbai, and I am very fortunate to be the student of all this. Next, I like to seek the permission and blessings of all my teachers, sir, to proceed with today's lecture. Sir, permission is required
Please,
for
please.
today's lecture. Sir.
Yes, yes. Granted,
Sir,
granted. And continue with your session.
Yes, sir. Thank
Yes,
you, Dr.
yes, it is
Nishikant.
given.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Kuldeep sir. Thank you, Dr. Arvind Loar sir. Friends,
Thank you,
we
sir.
proceed with yes. We proceed with today's topic and today's subject, that is secretarial practice. For this lecture is specially meant for the students of standard 12th of SYJC. The content of this lecture has been taken from the textbook of SP of Maharashtra Board. Before proceeding, let us see what competencies we will be able to study after getting to this lecture. This is the second lecture on the topic of corporate finance. Last lecture we had on 18th of June. There we studied few points. What did we study? We studied the concept of corporate finance and its importance. Then we studied the capital structure, how it is formed. Further, when we will march with this, we will understand what are the sources of owned capital and what are the sources of borrowed capital from the point of view of joint stock company. Maybe there is a minor issue with the network. Network is suddenly gone slow. Just a minute, students. There is some problem with the network over here. Yeah. So we are trying to resolve this network issue. Yes, friends. So before going to the lecture, let us first revise very quickly, okay, what we have studied in the previous lecture. We'll see an overview of the previous lecture first. We studied, friends, about corporate finance. In that, we bifurcated the word corporate finance. Yeah, now the PPT is starting.
Sir, please share your screen, sir, first.
Yeah, yeah. Sharing the screen. We're trying to resolve. Minor problem is there. Network has gone a little bit slow, so we are getting back. Now, can you see the screen? Okay. Thank you. The problem is little minor problem is resolved. So as we were talking, okay, corporate finance. We bifurcated these into two words, corporate and finance. We studied what is corporate and what is finance. So once again, let us revise. Corporate means related to a large company or a huge company. And finance means related to money and management of money. It is related to the inflow as well as outflow of money. Friends, success of any business organization depends upon how they manage money, how they generate funds, and how they use the funds. Friends, a well-known philosopher and a businessman, Henry Ford, has rightly said, money is arm or leg of business. We should use it properly or we should lose it. इंसान के शरीर में आर्म्स का क्या महत्व है that we all are aware. Without arms, we won't be able to do any work. And in the introduction, our Dr. Arvind Luhar sir said it is the lifeblood. It is so important that without finance, no activity will take place. So this statement clearly indicates the importance of finance in an organization. Okay, now this finance is there, but friends, what is corporate finance? Is there any difference between normal finance and corporate finance? No, it is similar. But corporate finance, as I said, the finance which is related to a very big organization is called as a corporate finance. Corporate finance deals with raising and using of finance by a very big company or organization. The corporate finance has got very three important parts that they have to deal with: financing activities, capital structuring, and with the investment decision. So that is about the corporate finance. Now, who is going to deal in an organization, a joint stock company, this corporate finance, how it is going to be managed, how it is going to be used? This corporate finance is managed by a special department called as finance department. And who is going to head it? Who is going to head? Finance manager is going to be heading this. So this is a very important question from the objective point of view also for Maharashtra board students. नाउ फाइनेंस मैनेजर जो होता है, तो व्हाट इज द वर्क और व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ फाइनेंस मैनेजर? Students, a finance manager has to mainly see the following things. He or she has to see the firm has adequate finance, and if this finance is adequate, first they have to see from where is this the finance is acquired, from what is the source, is this acquired from a right source of finance, and if it is acquired from right source of finance, whether these right source of finance has got minimum costing. कम पैसे में लाना है, अगर आप बाहर से पैसा ला रहे हो लेकिन पैसा लाने में आप पैसा बहुत खर्चा कर रहे हो, से फॉर एग्जांपल इक्विटी शेयर्स आर इशूड, और वो पब्लिसिटी में आप प्रमोशन के लिए आप बहुत खर्चा कर रहे हो, आप ब्रोशर लिटरेचर में बहुत पैसा खर्चा कर रहे हो. So these all things you have to take care. They will take care. Finance manager will take care. And after the money has come, if the firm is utilizing this money, is getting the money, whether the firm is utilizing the raised fund effectively, and how they will utilize the funds effectively by generating more returns. ये सो पैसा हम ला रहे हैं बाहर से, तो उसका मकसद क्या है? That our company will start the production and it will sell the products to get the maximum profit. So this is the role of finance manager. As we saw, adequate finance, whether it is there, okay, minimum cost and effective use with maximum returns. Okay, so there are two important decisions based on corporate finance, and that is financing decision and second is इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन. सो अगर आप फंड्स ला रहे हो तो फ्रॉम वेयर यू आर ब्रिंगिंग, एंड फ्रॉम यू आर ब्रिंगिंग फ्रॉम द सोर्स, एंड आफ्टर ब्रिंगिंग इट वेयर यू आर गोइंग टू यूटिलाइज. सो दीज आर द more two important decisions which are based on corporate financing, that is financing decision and investment decision. Further, which is when we will move with the syllabus, it's a very important question that what is the importance. ये हम corporate finance study कर रहे हैं, तो from academic point of view it's a very important answer that what is the importance of corporate finance. तो कोई भी आप काम कर रहे हो, आप या मैं, सबसे पहले हम क्या करते हैं? प्लानिंग, बराबर, और प्लानिंग से क्या होता है? डिसीजन. सो वेरी फर्स्ट पॉइंट शुड कम, दैट इज द डिसीजन, बराबर. सो हेल्प्स इन डिसीजन मेकिंग. कुछ भी आपको करना है, पैसा बाहर से आ गया, बाद में उसको खर्चा कैसा करना है, तो फर्स्ट यू हैव टू डिसाइड. So what is the importance of corporate finance? Many points are there, but as I told you in the last lecture, whatever points you write which are related, but the first point, it is better if you write which helps in decision making, and then all the points will follow later on. आप research and development कर सकते हैं, you can pay wages, you can pay salaries, okay, you can replace old assets, new machinery you can bring, you can pay taxes to the government, you can give the dividend to equity shareholders. All these points you have to write, but these all will come later. First point, it is better if you write decision making. By mistake आगे पीछे होगा, it's okay, but try to write this point as the first point. It will give value addition to your answer. Okay, so finance, and what is the word which is synonym to synonym means similar, that is capital. So what is capital? Capital is the money which is invested in business. Generally, finance and capitals, as I said, are used in synonyms, but both have got different terminology. Terminology of finance, friends, we have already seen. Finance means related to money and management of money, while capital is just a terminology, amount invested in the business. फिर आप उसको कैसे यूज करते हैं, that is the different aspect that goes in the finance, but normally they are used in a synonym. So first we have to understand the meaning of capital. So capital is amount or money which is invested in the business. Further, capital is classified. We have to see the how are the types of capital. Capitals are divided from the accounts terminology point of view into two things, into two parts: fixed capital and working capital. Friends, now fixed capital. So let us understand briefly. We have already seen in the last lecture, but very quickly we are revising the last lecture so that we can go with the flow of this chapter. Fixed capital is a permanent capital. It will remain in your business for lifelong till the liquidation or till the company is getting closed. तो ये फिक्स जो कैपिटल है वो आपकी कंपनी में हमेशा रहता रहेगा। और दूसरा है एक इज दैट इज वर्किंग कैपिटल। नाउ वर्किंग कैपिटल इज द कैपिटल, कैपिटल मींस विटामिन ए, मनी। इट इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज। आपको सैलरीज पे करना है, वेजेस पे करना है, मेंटेनेंस इज देयर, if your place is on rent then you have to give rent, many other electric charges are also there. तो रोजिंदा खर्चा के लिए, एवरीडे एक्सपेंसेस के लिए दैट इज वर्किंग कैपिटल इज रिक्वायर्ड। सो नाउ ये है फिक्स कैपिटल एंड वर्किंग कैपिटल। नाउ द क्वेश्चन में अराइज इन द माइंड ऑफ 12th स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट्स कि क्या फिक्स कैपिटल वर्किंग कैपिटल इसका कोई फिक्स्ड अमाउंट इज देयर और सभी कंपनी में ये सेम होना चाहिए? तो आंसर इज नो, it depends upon the various companies, how the situations are there. So this brings us to the next answer, okay, what are the factors affecting the requirement of fixed capital? बराबर, आपका सवाल है, माइंड में डाउट है, that comes into a question. 12th standard students, we have to study with the syllabus. Lot of examples, we will take outside examples, then the points which we have to write. Still you are a junior college students. When you go in the senior college, you write the detail with the examples. But here in 12th standard, as the syllabus is made, the points are there. It is requested that you have to follow the points if you want to score better. Only scoring is not important. Knowledge is not important. As our Dr. Arvind Luhar sir said, कि if you have got the qualification but then you do not use it, तो फिर कैसा चलेगा? बराबर? So you need to first understand कि how it is there. Okay, let me have a little bit sip of water. Thank you, friends. So we are seeing about the factors affecting the requirement of the fixed capital. तो क्या ये फिक्स कैपिटल हर एक कंपनी में सेम रहता है या तो उसका अमाउंट है, कुछ रेशियो दें? उसका कोई रेशियो नहीं है। दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द फर्स्ट इज नेचर, आपका नेचर कैसा है बिजनेस का और साइज कैसा है। So these 2 points, as we say, studied in the last topic, that decision making का point you write first. So it is requested, आगे पीछे points हुआ चलेगा, but then if possible, write these 2 points first, nature and size of the business, and then rest all the points will follow. Say for example, how is the scope of business? आपका rent है तो कितने साल तक rent है, आपका extent of lease is there, then consumer आपके कैसे है, तो goods which you are selling. So what type of goods are needed, what sophisticated machinery is required, so how much you have to invest in machines, that is important, and all those points will come later on. Now factors which are affecting fixed capital, at the same time there will be factors affecting working capital also, but before that we have to see what is working capital. तो वर्किंग कैपिटल इज द कैपिटल व्हिच इज यूज्ड टू कैरी आउट डे टू डे बिजनेस एक्टिविटी। रोजिंदा खर्चे के लिए आपको जो पैसा चाहिए, दैट यू कैन डू फ्रॉम द वर्किंग, दैट इज ग्रुप्ड इनटू वर्किंग कैपिटल। अ बिजनेस फर्म रिक्वायर्स फंड्स टू स्टोर एडिक्वेट रॉ मटेरियल, बराबर। अ फर्म वुड नीड कैपिटल टू मेंटेन सफिशिएंट स्टॉक ऑफ फिनिश्ड गुड। एक तो रॉ मटेरियल रखना पड़ेगा, but sufficient stock of finished goods भी रखना पड़ेगा। Any order can come at any time. In actual practice, goods are sold out of cash or sometimes it is sold on credit also. So when you are selling the goods on credit, immediately not necessarily the payment will come. Payment का कोई cycle रहता है, तो तब तक आप क्या करेंगे? Production बंद थोड़ी रखेंगे। So for that you require the backup of money that is there, बराबर। So and firm will have to arrange for funds. Amount is collected from the debtors, जिसको आप उधार में माल बेच रहे हो, तब तक आपको, जब तक पैसा नहीं आया तब तक आपको आपका कंपनी चालू रखना पड़ेगा। The show must go on just like that. Okay, so for that you require adequate backup of the finance. Okay, and as I said before going to the working capital, factors of working capital, we saw what is working capital. So here also the factors, as I said, the points are there, but try to write these 2 points in the beginning: nature of the business and size of the business, and other factors will be coming later on. आपका volume of sales कितना है, business cycle कितना है, how much is the credit period, and other external factors will be there. Okay. Then capital structure. अभी ये finance तो करना है, लेकिन how to get the finance? So what is capital structure? The topic comes capital structure. So we have to first study the terminology of capital structure. A company can raise its capital from different sources. It can be own capital also, या बाहर से भी ला सकते हैं, that is borrowed capital also. The own capital consists of what? It consists of shares and reserves and surplus. Again, we will see shares are divided into equity shares and preference shares. That is the topic of today, which we will be starting very nice and very soon. On the other hand, borrowed sources are there, as debentures are there, loans are there, deposits are there, ADR is there, GDR is there. Okay, then we can take loans from non-financial, non-banking institution also, that is other financial institution that we are going to see later in today's lecture. Capital structure is nothing but it is a capital mix of various sources of funds in desired proportion. To decide capital structure means to decide upon the ratio into which different types of capital is brought into your business organization. Okay, so here on the screen you can see that. Okay, so components of capital structure. तो capital structure के कितने important components है? Just in the introduction we discussed. There are 4 basic important components of capital structure, that is shares, okay, and retained earning, that is our own source, and second is borrowed capital, that is borrowed source or loan capital. Okay, now the shares again are divided into equity shares and preference shares, and then borrowed capital in loan is there, that is divided into debentures, bonds, deposits, and others. So this is how we just one small numericals are not there in SP in 12th standard of Maharashtra board, but just to understand what is the composition of capital structure, that we took the small example of balance sheet also last time. In that we saw the balance sheet mein that 1 lakh is there as the equity share capital, 5 lakh is there as the preference shares, 50,000 is there as the reserve and surplus. So how we calculated? We calculated by the formula you can see on the screen. Capital structure is own capital plus borrowed capital. Own capital, or it is also called as loan capital. Own capital again is divided into shares and retained earning. Further shares are preference shares and equity shares. So this is how we have seen it, and we arrived to the figure of rupees 7,50,000. Okay, 1 lakh, that is 1 lakh plus 5 lakhs plus 50,000, that is plus 1 lakh makes 7,50,000, and we concluded the previous lecture. Okay, so this is what we were seeing, the overview of the previous lecture, which was done on 18th of June. In that we understood what is the concept of corporate finance, meaning of capital structure. Very quickly we revised. Now we are going further with the chapter, and this we are going to do this, that is understand various sources of own capital and borrowed capital from the point of view of big company, that is joint stock company. So let us proceed with the today's further topic, friends. Okay. So the first part again, corporate finance is there. तो finance के बगैर तो आगे बढ़ ही नहीं सकते. तो finance is there. So let us first and once again understand what is the meaning of finance. Finance, friends, holds a key to all business organization. As our Dr. ARVIND LUHAR sir said, it is very important. It is a lifeblood. उसके बगैर तो कोई काम हो ही नहीं सकता है. No business activity can ever be achieved or can be performed without the support of finance. Finance is necessary throughout the activities of promotion. आप advertisement करो, once you will purchase the goods, for selling it you will be doing various promotional organization, advertisement, hoardings, pamphlets, TV advertisement and etc. all you will do it. तो उसके लिए क्या चाहिए? पैसा चाहिए. So organization and regular business operations also for working capital also we will require. So friends, all the functions of business are ultimately depend only and only on finance. Okay, the finance needed by business organization is termed as capital. That is money invested in the business is called as the capital. Every business organization, friends, needs certain capital for its activities. A joint stock company, which is the modern form of business organization and being the largest undertaking, requires huge capital because it's a huge organization, requires a lot of money. These huge capital collection or capital formation has special significance in joint stock company. So further we will see capital formation is a process of collection of capital, that is from where inflow and outflow, whatever you have seen, is related to money and management of money, and how there is inflow, how there is outflow of finance, that we have already seen. Once again we are seeing from the point of view of joint stock company. These various sources of finance available to this business organization of joint stock company can be explained with the help of the following important chart. अगर आपके पास पेन पेपर मौजूद है तो please you are requested to please draw this chart. Sources of finance based on types of capital are divided into two parts: own capital and borrowed capital. Now again, own capital is divided into two parts, that is shares and retained earnings. Further, when we will see, the shares are divided again into two parts, that is two types of shares. Okay, so equity shares and preference shares. And borrowed capital, the types of borrowed capital are debentures, public deposits, bonds, ADR and GDR, banks, financial institutions, and trade credit. So this is what the syllabus of today's lecture is there, that we are going to see in details. We will see shares, तो उसके features क्या है. First we will understand the meaning of shares, then we will understand the features of shares, why share is required, equity shares features we will see, and then we will see the features of preference shares. Then we will move on to debentures and public deposits we will go. So the above, but friends, did you note that shares are there, preference and equity shares are there, borrowed capital is also there, so but at the same time retaining earning is also there. तो अभी रिटेन अर्निंग है वो कोई बाहर से तो लाना नहीं है, वो तो रिटेन अर्निंग अपना ही प्रॉफिट है ऑफ प्रीवियस इयर्स. So these sources of finance which you can see on the screen can be external source also, can be internal source also. तो इसके ऊपर आपको ऑब्जेक्टिव आ सकता है कि which is the external source and which is the internal source of finance. Okay, so when capital is raised from outside, it is called as external source, while the capital which is made available within the organization, then it is called as the internal capital. Now sources of owned capital, let us see the next topic. The capital raised by company with the help of its owners. तो owners कौन है joint stock company के? shareholders. तो shareholders the money जो दे रहे कंपनी को is called as own capital or ownership capital it is called. Another form of own capital is retain earning. तभी retain earning क्या है? Retain earning is nothing but the reinvestment or plowing back. Plowing back means putting back in the business the profits which we earned in the previous years. So that is the retained earning is also a type of internal source of capital. Now who decides? कंपनी चालू हो रहा है लेकिन before it starts, who decides After company is going on, so it's fine that in AGM, equity shareholders are there, board of directors are there. Meeting may they decide whether the more capital is required or how much extension we have to do. That capital or decision will take place in the meetings, decision makers. But initially, who takes? Initially, promoters of the company, joint stock company, decide the share capital required by the company. This amount of share capital is known as authorized capital. Very important point. So this share capital is written in capital clause of memorandum of association in a joint stock company. Now let us learn in detail the various sources of own capital. So in an overview, we have seen the own capital is shares and return earning. So let us first see what is share. Okay, share का मतलब क्या है? That we are going to see. The term share is defined by, please note this, section 2 subsection 84. I repeat, the term share is defined by section 2 subsection 84 of the Indian Companies Act of 2013. Share means a share in the share capital of a company, and it includes stock. Share is a unit in which the share capital is divided. The total capital of a company is divided into small parts, and each small part is called as the share, and the value of each part or unit is known as the face value of that share. Share, friends, is a small unit. Unit म्हणजे part, small part. बड़ा company है, say for example the capital is say 1000 crore. That doesn't mean that 1000 crore ka owner you are there. You will be owner in that 1000 crore if the capital of the joint stock company is there. आपका उसमें योगदान कितना है, आपका उसमें हिस्सा कितना है, तो हिस्सा is called as share. तो share is a small unit of the capital of a company. It facilitates the public to subscribe to the capital in smaller amount also. तो एक साथ में कोई 1000 crores या 2000 या 5000 crores तो नहीं contribute कर सकता है. जितना you can contribute, that much shares, number of shares you can purchase. A person can purchase any number of shares as per his or her own wish. A person who purchase share is called as the shareholder of that particular company. Now, so we have seen the introduction of shares. Now let us see with the next very important answer, and next important point is features. What are the features of shares? Features of shares are as follows. First, we need to write the meaning. Okay, share का meaning क्या है? That first we have to write. Share is a small unit in the total share capital of a company. Ownership is the second point. The owner of a share is called a shareholder. It shows that the ownership of a shareholder in the company. So ownership we have seen. Next, distinctive number. अगर शेयर आपके पास है तो कुछ नंबर होता है आपके पास, 100 shares, 200 shares, 300 shares, 450 shares, or whatever. It can be a some odd number also. तो distinctive number, unless dematerialize, जिसे शॉर्टकट में हम कहते हैं डीमैट, means online trading. Each share has distinct number for identification. It is mentioned in the share certificate of that particular share. Evidence of title. So आपने कंपनी को पैसा दिया है, अथवा you invested certain money in a company. As we took the example, 1000 crores का one joint stock company is there, उसका capital is there 1000 crores. Now in that you are investing maybe 5000 rupees, only 5000 rupees. लेकिन आपने उस कंपनी को दिया है पैसा 5000 rupees. तो what is the proof of that? अथवा what evidence you are having? So evidence, you are investing 5000 rupees. So in return you get share certificate. So evidence of the title, a share capital is issued by a company under its common seal. Seal म्हणजे उसका name होता है, बरोबर? The name of the company on that letterhead or on that certificate, share certificate में its name will be written कि you have given so and so amount to that particular company. It is a document of title of ownership of shares. A share is not only a visible thing, it is shown by share certificate. तो शेयर हम देख नहीं सकते, बट उसका प्रूफ विल बी देयर एज अ शेयर सर्टिफिकेट. इट विल बी रिटन 1000 शेयर्स, लेकिन आप गिनने में जाएंगे तो 1000 शेयर्स होंगे क्या? नहीं होंगे. 1 2 3 4 5 6 there will be no number, only it will be written in the form of the numericals. It will be written that so and so shares you have purchased. Okay, moving further with the features, we will see a value of share. Any share whatever you are purchasing, it has got some value. Value means number. Maths के language में से कहते हैं some number. Each share has a value expressed in the terms of money. There may be, whatever values are there. Face value. Face value means the value which is written on the share certificate and which is mentioned in the memorandum of association. Issue price. Now face value is there, particular share, say face value is rupees 10. If a reputed company is there like Reliance, तो वो when new share will come in the market, तो उसका वैल्यू कोई 10 रुपीज नहीं रहेगा, उसका बोली ज्यादा लगेगा, बराबर? Its rates will go on increasing. As our Dr. ARVIND LUHAR said, okay, once the shares of Idea and Vodafone were there in thousands of rupees, and today it is going on in 10-15 rupees. Okay, so it depends. The face value of the share will remain the same, maybe 10 rupees or 100 rupees, whatever the board of directors are deciding, and it is written in the memorandum of association. The class in capital class it is written. Okay, but the market value is different. Okay, so it is the price at which the company will share its shares. It is called as the issue price. Market value. अभी 10 rupees का शेयर है, तो मे भी कंपनी इस तरह के नो रिलायंस इज देयर, रिलायंस जियो, तो 10 rupees का जो शेयर है, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू हैव इट. आवर कंपनी इज वेरी प्रॉफिटेबल, इट इज वेरी रेप्यूटेड, and it is making generating a lot of profit. So many people are investing in our company. So our share will go in thousands maybe. Face value. Face value means it is written on the shares or share certificate के 10 rupees का one share. But is Reliance going to suppose market में shares उतारेंगे, IPO, BPO, whatever. IPO तो नहीं हो सकता है. So any offer is there which comes, तो 10 रुपए में क्या शेयर बिकने वाला नहीं है. It will go in thousands. So that is called as the issue price. The whatever company is deciding it, 10 rupees का shares है, our price will be maybe 2000 rupees. Now 2000 rupees का market में किया, not necessarily all will purchase in 2000 rupees. Some may purchase it in the, they want maybe this share at a lower price also. अगर demand ज्यादा है, same thing is like economics, demand and supply. If demand is more, then 2000 का value may go up to 5000 rupees also. If demand is less, that will come down to maybe 1000 rupees or 500 rupees. And as our Dr. ARVIND LUHAR said, Vodafone and Idea, they are not giving better service. That is what is going on rumors in the market. So uska share price are down. So that is called as the market value of the shares. So this is you have to write in the features of the share. Further, rights. A share confers certain rights to its holders, such as right to receive dividend once you are giving your contribution. Share is your contribution in the capital of the company. तो आप contribute करेंगे, तो क्यों आप contribute करेंगे? In return you will require something. Money when you are invested, you will require some profit. तो आपको profit मिल जाएगा कंपनी का, ऐसा नहीं है. How much money you have invested, in that ratio you will get. 1000 crores का कैपिटल है और आपने 5000 रुपीस डाला है उसमें, तो रेशियो विल बी कैलकुलेटेड. 1000 crores and 5000 का रेशियो विल बी कैलकुलेटेड एंड टोटल व्हाटएवर रेशियो विल गेट, तो प्रॉफिट भी उतना ही आपको मिलेगा. A share confers certain rights on its shareholders, such as the right to receive dividend, right to inspect statutory books, जो compulsory है. Statutory books are there. Statutory means legal books, which is manyata, legally whatever you can, not all books, only which is legally valid, that books shareholders can inspect. right to attend shareholders meeting and right to vote at the meeting whenever required. तो आप शेयर आप खरीद रहे हो, you are investing money, तो साथ में आपको certain rights also are there. What is that? Dividend you can get, right to inspect statutory books, you can attend the meeting, any voting is there, आप वो meeting में आप voting भी कर सकते हो. So these are the rights are there. So it forms a feature of share. Okay. So now you are giving the money, you are investing the money. So in return, as I said, you will get the income, that is income in the form of the dividend. The shareholder is entitled to get a share in the net profit of the company. It is called as dividend. Share म्हणजे हिस्सा. तो आपको कैपिटल में हिस्सा है, तो कैपिटल में अगर हिस्सा है तो प्रॉफिट में भी आपका उस हिसाब से हिस्सा वो रेशियो में आपका रहेगा. अभी शेयर आपने परचेस कर लिया. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज शेयर यू हैव परचेस. Suppose you are in need of money or you are not requiring that share, then what you can do? You can give and sell that share in the stock market. So that is the transferability. The shares of public limited company are freely transferred in the manner provided in the article of association. To which stock exchange may it will be traded, it is written in the article of association in the every company. And although shares we cannot see, share certificate is there, so share certificate is as good as the property. That is the next point, is a share transferability के बाद property of a shareholder. Share is movable property. Land and building is there, we cannot take it and go anywhere. Car we can take and go, vehicle we can take and go. Just like a share certificate is also a transferability, if we can do it, and it is the property of that particular investor, that is shareholder. And the last point which we come, that is kinds of share. Kinds of share, according to the section 43 of Indian Companies Act 2013, a company can issue two kinds of shares: equity shares and preference shares. So this is the feature. And the last feature whatever is there, it brings to the totally new topic, that types of shares or kinds of share. So features of shares are over, and it takes, last point takes us to the topic of types of shares. The as just now we have seen the point number 10, that shares are of two types: equity shares and preference shares. So there, according to the section 43 of Indian Companies Act, it is very important for you students to write. Equity shares and preference shares. Now again further, as we have seen, okay, there are subtypes of many of the points. So here also it is there, it goes here also. Equity shares, friends, again are having two types: equity shares with voting right, and second is equity share with differential voting right. So these are the two types of equity shares. And then we will see about preference shares, that is cumulative frequency preference shares, non-cumulative preference shares, participating preference shares, non-participating preference shares, convertible preference shares, non-convertible preference shares, redeemable preference shares, and non-redeemable preference shares. So your preference shares are of 8 types. So these are the types of shares. Those who have got pen and paper, please note it down. It's an important chart. So before going to the types of shares, let us first study what are equity shares. Friends, equity shares are also known as ordinary shares. Companies Act defined equity shares as those shares which are not preference shares. Here definition is only given this much only in the Indian Companies Act. The official definition is the shares, equity shares are the shares which are not preference shares. The above definitions clearly reveals, but फिर उसको analyze ये definition, official definitions को when we will analyze, we will find that the equity shares do not enjoy preference for dividends. As the name suggests, equity shares and preference shares prefer. the shareholders of preference are preferred, that we are going to see. But we are right now we are seeing the equity shares. So uske definitions mein student, it is written official definition mein ke equity shares are the shares which are not preference shares. So we have to little bit go okay, what is preference shares also we are going to see along with this. Okay, the equity shares do not enjoy any preference over the dividend. वो उनको dividend सबसे last में मिलेगा. First dividend is distributed to the preference shareholders. अगर बच गया तो whatever balance is there they are getting. Who is getting? Equity shareholders. The equity shares do not have priority for repayment of capital at the time of liquidation or winding up of the company. अगर कंपनी बंद हो रहा है तो कैपिटल नेचुरली सबको देना पड़ता है. जिसने इन्वेस्टर्स है उन्होंने पैसा डाला है कंपनी में तो उनका पैसा वापस देना पड़ेगा. तो इन सच सिनारियो उनको इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स विल गेट द लास्ट में दे विल reimburse back, the amount will be reimbursed back to them last में. First who will get preference share, as the name goes, preference share. उनको प्रीफर किया जाएगा, उनको प्रायोरिटी दी जाएगी. ओके, सो डिविडेंड में प्रायोरिटी मिलता है. एंड समझो कभी हो गया लिक्विडेशन, कंपनी क्लोज हो गया, वाइंडिंग अप हो गया, तो कैपिटल व्हेन एवर इज रिम्बर्स्ड, इट इज रिम्बर्स फर्स्ट तो जिसका लोन है उनको दिया जाएगा, बराबर. सिक्योर्ड लोन्स वाले को दिया जाएगा, अनसिक्योर्ड लोन्स वाले को दिया जाएगा, प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स को दिया जाएगा, और लास्ट में कुछ बच गया तो will get equity shareholders will get. Equity shares are the fundamental source of financing, but despite of all this, it is fundamental source of financing. Equity shareholders own the company, they are the owners. घर पे भी होता है, बराबर. मदर इज मेकिंग फूड टू एवरीवन. घर के जनरली कई कई घरों में सिस्टम होती है, सबको फूड सर्व करने के बाद ही मम्मी खाने को लास्ट में होता है. तो जस्ट लाइक दैट हियर आल्सो इट इज देयर. आई एम नॉट टेलिंग दिस इज द सिस्टम इन एवरी फैमिली, बट फ्यू ऑफ द फैमिलीज में यू सी. Okay, and bear ultimate risk. They are bearing the ultimate risk associated with the ownership of the company. After paying claims of the other investors, the remaining funds belong to equity shareholders. So all the other claims are there, as I told you, loans are there, सबको दिया जाता है. बच गया, बैलेंस बच गया तो it is given to equity shareholders. Thus equity shareholders are called as the residual claimants. I repeat, residual claimants of the income as well as assets. Dividend भी लास्ट में मिलता है, वाइंडिंग हो गया तो हिस्सा भी बाद में मिलता है उनको. ओके, सो equity shareholders do not carry any fixed commitment of dividend. They are paid dividend at a rate which is recommended by whom? By board of directors. That also if the profit is there, profit हुआ तो ही मिलेगा, नहीं तो वो भी नहीं मिलेगा. No dividend will be payable. It is exactly because of these position equity shareholders are also known as, equity share capital is also known as venture capital or risk. Risk है, but as our Dr. Arvind Luhar sir said, जियो कंपनी में फिलहाल सिचुएशन, करंट सिचुएशन में जियो कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट करना कोई रिस्क की बात नहीं है. The owners of equity shareholders are called as the real risk bearers. However, equity shareholders participate in the management of the company. That doesn't mean that they are going to, they are there, they are getting large. Why? Because they are the owners, they are owners. They are participating in the meeting. As we have seen the feature of share, they are called in the meeting. And if voting is there, they have to select the office bearers, the board of directors, they've got the right to vote. They are invited to attend the general meetings. They are allowed to vote in the important matters which are discussed in the general meeting. They elect their representatives to manage the company. Equity shareholders are thus called as the real owner of the company. So this can be an important answer also. Okay, explain and tell why equity shareholders are called as the real owners of the company. Now with this, any problem? Okay. With this, we will study to the next topic, that is the features of equity shares. Just excuse me. please. Thank you, friends. Features of equity shares. Now, as we have seen, equity shareholders are called as the real owners of the company. They will get their money last in case there is winding up of the company. It means what? इससे क्या अपने को एनालिसिस होता है कि इट इज अ परमानेंट कैपिटल. ओके, सो वेरी फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज द इट इज द परमानेंट कैपिटल. फ्लक्चुएटिंग डिविडेंड विल बी द सेकंड, क्योंकि उनको हिस्सा लास्ट में मिलेगा, बराबर. एंड दैट आल्सो इफ प्रॉफिट इज देयर, if profit is there in a particular year, only then they will get the profit in the selected ratio whatever it is discussed by the board of directors. And that is not fixed whether they will get. It depends. If profit is more, they might get more. Profit is less, they might get less. That is why they will get the fluctuating dividend. But at the same time, they are having permanent capital also. They are having fluctuating dividend also, but they are having certain rights also. They are having right to vote, right in the share of the profit. भले कम ज़्यादा मिले, लेकिन मिलेगा. Profit is more by the company, they will get. Plus, as we have seen in the features of equity shares, they have got the right to inspect statutory books. Plus, if they are not requiring the shares, they can transfer it, they can sell it, they can give it to the stock market. Whoever is there, they will get it. They will purchase the shares, so you can transfer the shares also अगर आपको नहीं चाहिए तो. So these are there, okay. But at the same time, they are having no preference right, but they are having controlling power. They are the risk bearers. They take the risk. And as we have seen that they are the residual claimants. Last में they can claim. They do not have any charge on the assets. Certain debentures are there. Those are, as I told, there are certain debentures which are secured. So ऐसा security, there is charge वगैरह, it is not there on equity shares. Okay. Plus, if profit is too much in the company, that profit what will happen will be first kept as a retained earning. But if excess profit is there, it will be distributed. So certain companies, what they do, they give bonus issues. So they can get bonus issues also. So their number of shares will increase. 1,000 shares are there. Suppose a person has purchased 1,000 shares. तो बोनस में उसको 200 shares मिला, तो his total share tally will become 1,200 shares. Okay. So, and then right issues are there. Face value and market value are both are different. That is also there. And capital appreciation. If bonus shares are there, so as we took the example, 1,000 shares are there, bonus 200 मिला, तो कितना हो गया आपका 1,200 shares हो गया, तो आपका capital भी बढ़ गया. It means your share in the capital of joint stock company has increased. It means there is an appreciation in the capital which is invested by the shareholder. So these are the features of equity shares. But are there any other types of equity shares? So yes, in classification we have seen that yes, equity shares are there of two types. They are equity shares with voting right. That is, voting right of such equity shareholders is in proportion to their shareholdings. जितना उनका shares है, in that proportion they have got more shares. Maybe depends upon the various policies of the company. More shares, so more rights also they might get. Equity shares with differential voting rights means such equity shareholders have varying rights regarding dividend, voting, or otherwise in accordance to rule number 4 of Companies Act, that is share capital and debentures rules of 2014. So what can we conclude in these? We can conclude that thus a company can issue equity shares with voting rights, or without, they can issue without voting rights also. So these are the types of equity shares. Further, we will see the second type of shares are preference shares. So So now first let us understand, okay, what are preference shares. Equity shares we have seen, and we have seen the points also as the features of equity shares. As the name indicates, these shares have certain preferential rights. नाम में ये छुपा है, preference share. Preference will be given. Okay, preferential rights. Okay, there was some disturbance. Please notice. Okay, as the name indicates, these shares have certain preferential rights, distinct, that is separate from those attached to the equity shares. The shares which carry following preferential rights are termed as preference share. So equity share में हमने क्या पढ़ा था definition? The equity shares are the shares which are not preference shares. तो not preference shares, but तो preference shares कौन है वो हम देख रहे हैं. Okay, the shares which carry the preferential rights are termed as preference share. So which preferential rights are there? First, as we have seen, a preferential right has to be payment of dividend. पहले उनको dividend मिलेगा, then equity shareholders will get the dividend. A preferential right as the return of capital. समझो कभी वाइंडिंग अप हो गया कंपनी का, there is a liquidation of the company, then they will get the capital before then equity shareholders, in case if there is winding up or liquidation of the company. The holder of preference shares have a prior right to receive fixed rate of dividend before any dividend is paid to equity shares. The rate of dividend is prescribed at the time of issue. ये आपको बहुत important point ध्यान रखना है, because the rate at which equity shareholders are getting their dividend is not fixed. That is decided by the board of directors. Okay, how much is the profit, how much you have to keep is retained earning, and whatever is balance, it will be distributed to equity shareholders. So their features में of equity shares में we have seen, okay, it is not fixed how much dividend will be get, but here it is fixed. At the time of purchase only it is told कि आपको भाई कितना मिलने वाला है, percentage, how much percentage you are going to get as the dividend. At the time of purchase only it is told to you, okay, what is there. So preference shares, further we will see, normally preference shares do not carry any voting power. Normally they do not carry. They have voting right only on matters which affect their interest. खुद के related any topic is there, if it is discussed in the meeting, only then you can vote, such as selling of undertaking or changing rights of the preference shares, etc. Or they get voting rights if dividend remains unpaid. कोई कंपनी में ऐसा भी प्रोविजन होता है कि if dividend is not given due to certain circumstances, instead of that they may get the voting rights also. The preference shareholders are the co-owners of the company along with equity shareholders, but they are not the controllers. They are not called in the meeting. These shares are purchased by cautious investors who are interested in the safety of investment and who want steady returns of, those who want to play safe. Okay, हमें रिस्क नहीं लेना है. What is the dividend? Every year the dividend is fluctuating. कभी प्रॉफिट कंपनी का ज्यादा हुआ कम हुआ, तो maybe we will not get the proper dividend, fixed dividend every year. So certain investors are there who want to play safe. So such investors they prefer preference shares. Okay, so those who are very cautious investors, they play safe. So they invest very safely. Such investors are always preferring to invest in preference shares. Now the very important question is there, okay, in the definition, in the introduction of preference shares we have seen, which gives to the new topic, that is the features of preference shares. So let us see the preference shares. Very first, preference means very first point. What will come? Simple, preference for a dividend. So they will get the dividend as the first priority. Then second will be there. Last में as we have discussed, already discussed, winding up हो गया company का, liquidation हो गया, so they will get back their capital first. So preference for repayment of capital. Okay, so they will get the preference for the repayment of the capital also. They have got fixed return. Just now we told those who are playing very safe, those who are investing very safe. There certain people are there who will think, okay, no, every year I want fixed dividend from the companies. Such investors generally like to invest their money in the preference shares. Nature of capital is there as the next feature, that is the permanent capital is there. Market value of the shares, that is the next. Voting rights, they do not have voting rights except, as we have discussed in the introduction, except for certain issues or where profit is not then in particular year to be distributed, so that may be converted according to the decision taken in the board of directors meeting. They may be getting voting rights. Okay, so risk as compared to equity shareholders is much lesser. Not entitled to get either right issue or bonus issue. And nature of investors, generally as we have discussed, those who want to play very safe or those who want to invest very safe or those who are new investors, generally they invest in preference shares. Okay, so now let us see the types of preference shares. Equity shares we have already seen. There are two types of equity shares, with voting rights and without voting rights. तो प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स में होता है क्या? तो होता है, टाइप्स आर देयर इन प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स. तो फर्स्ट totally broadly it is classified into 4 groups, but in the list we have seen 8 types. Okay, broadly it is classified into 4 types: cumulative and non-cumulative preference shares, participating and non-participating preference shares, convertible and non-convertible preference shares, and last group is redeemable and non-redeemable preference shares. Each group has got 2 types, so totally 8 types of preference shares are there. So these are the various 8 types of preference shares. But in the last type, irredeemable preference shares, one point is there which is very important, that is according to section 55 subsection 1 of Indian Companies Act of 2013, a company cannot issue irredeemable preference share. ये आपको पॉइंट ध्यान रखना है. Okay, cumulative preference shares में what is there? As the name suggests, cumulative मतलब together. Profits is cumulative, that is collected. Profits of the previous years may be collected and they may get in certain years if there is a problem, because percentage is fixed. Investors, those who are want to invest very safely, fixed percentage of dividend they are entitled to get. Now in certain years, if the profit is not up to the mark, up to the expectation, so maybe they may not get the dividend in particular year. So what will happen? It will be lapsed? No. If you are investing in cumulative preference shares, then that dividend will be credited to your account, it will be added in your account, and when adequate profits are there, so previous year profits also you will get, that is cumulative preference shares. While non-cumulative preference shares may such facility is not there. If profit is not sufficient, that particular year ka profit that is distributed as dividend will lapse. At the time of investing, only these terms and conditions are written. So investors are already knowing whether it is cumulative preference share or it is non-cumulative preference share. Then participating and non-participating, if you can participate, then it's called as, participate means what? Participate in the meetings and certain decision making, then they are participating preference shares. Non-participating means you cannot participate. Convertible preference shares, after certain years, certain preference shares have got the conditions, after lapse of particular year, after the particular period is over, you can convert that preference shares into equity shares. You can become the equity shareholders. That is called as convertible preference shares. Or similarly, when it cannot be converted, it is called as non-convertible preference shares. Redeemable. Redeemable means give back. Okay, the money which is to be given back. Preference shares, when you are purchasing, it is written after how many years these capital will be given back to you. Okay, so that is called as redeemable preference shares. But eighth type is there nowadays according to the new rules of Indian Companies Act. As I said, section 55 subsection 1, any joint stock company cannot issue irredeemable preference shares. So this answer is there. When this answer comes, uh, if you draw chart, write the points and then explain the points, it will give value addition to your answers. Now another source of owned capital is retained earning, friends. We have seen capital, own capital, and in the chart own capital and loan capital. So own capital में shares, equity and preference share that we have seen. We have seen the introduction also of preference shares. We have seen the introduction of equity shares and features of both equity and preference shares we have completed. So one part of our own capital we have completed, friends. Now, is there any other part of own capital? Yes, it is there, and that is called as retained earning. So first, before uh, proceeding to the features, first let us see the introduction. So introduction में features आ जाता है, main points. So let us see. Business organizations are subject to variation. कभी profit ज्यादा, कभी profit कम. It will be wise decision, important, wise. अकलमंदी की बात है कि if the it is told make hay, in English make proverb है, make hay when the sun shines, means when good times are there, you should make the best out of it. So certain companies are there which are having good maybe thoughts. Okay, this year particular year may profit is more. So what will do? These all profit will not distribute to preference shareholders and last में बच गया तो equity shareholders will not do. What will do? We will make parts, maybe 1/3 and 2/3, or half and half, or 2/3 and 1/3, or any other part as it will be taken the decision in the board of directors. So we'll make the parts. One part we will distribute and other part we will put as a backup. कैसा घर पे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जाता है, पावर जाता है, तो we have generators, we have inverters. So just like that, प्रॉफिट इज मोर ना, तो हम क्या करेंगे, थोड़ा हिस्सा साइड में रखेंगे. भविष्य में अगर कोई एक्सपांशन करना हो कंपनी का, इफ सर्टेन डेवलपमेंट इज देयर, और if adverse conditions are there, slowdown is there in the economy, as you can see in the current scenario of corona, thoda slowdown is there, economy little bit is down. So in such conditions, these profit we can plow back. We already seen in the definition, okay, retained earning is the reinvestment or plowing back of the profit which is collected, accumulated of the previous years. So business, it would be a wise decision for a company, as I said, to collect the profit and you have to keep it. These reserve, this whatever is collected is called as reserve. These reserves are nothing but what it is retained earning of the company. The sum total of retained earnings gets accumulated over the years. These accumulated profits are reinvested or plowed back in the business rather than to distribute it fully to the equity shareholders. That doesn't mean they don't want to distribute. They have to distribute. Equity shareholders, why? They have given you money. Okay, to get, we have seen the features. Okay, what is the main aim? To get the dividend. Okay, so the process of accumulating corporate profits and their utilization in business is called retained earning. In simple words, friends, a part of net profit which is not distributed to the equity shareholders or preference shareholders as dividend is retained in the company in the form of reserve fund. Company converts its reserves into bonus shares or capital and capitalizes its profit. This capitalization of profit by issue of bonus share is known as plowing back of the profit or self-financing. Bonus shares are issued free of cost to the existing equity shareholders out of the retained earning. Management of that particular company can convert retained earnings into permanent capital. How they can do it? They can issue bonus shares. In features we have seen. Okay, if bonus shares are gone, we took the example of 1,000 shares and 200. Remember, 1,000 plus 200, 1,200. So your capital accumulation has happened. Appreciation is happening, in fact. Okay, that we have seen one of the point of equity shareholders we have seen. But preference shareholders do not have such rights. Okay. It is an internal source of finance. So that is the retained earning. But does every company have retained earnings the same? No, friends. That depends. Retained earning, every company ka may not be same or is not same, you can say. It depends upon the situation. It depends upon which situation. Profit. रिटेन अर्निंग म्हणजे क्या? प्लाविंग बैक ऑफ प्रॉफिट. तो प्रॉफिट कितना है? इट डिपेंड्स. तो फर्स्ट फैक्टर इज दैट द टोटल अर्निंग, आपका अर्निंग कितना है कंपनी का. सो दैट इज द फर्स्ट वन, द टोटल अर्निंग ऑफ द कंपनी. टैक्सेशन, वेदर द टैक्सेशन पॉलिसी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट इज, हाउ इज द टैक्सेशन, बराबर, वेदर इट इज द लिबरल पॉलिसी इज देयर और वेदर इट इज द स्ट्रिक्ट पॉलिसी इज देयर. It depends upon the dividend policy also, whether you are distributing more dividend, as we have told, 1/3 whether you are distributing and 2/3 you are saving, or half you are distributing, half you are saving, or more 2/3 you are distributing and 1/3 you are saving. So it depends upon the decision of board of directors, how much you are distributing, how much you are saving. That is the dividend policy of the company. And then government control. Government also various policies are there. They may so the retained earning will depend upon the various government policies also. Okay. So till now we have studied the following sources of finance, friends. What have we studied? We have studied the own capital. Okay. So we have studied shares. In that shares we have studied equity shares. We have studied preference shares. We have also seen what are the features which are very important. Features are the important answers from the point of view of 12th standard examination. And retained earnings also we have seen. Now friends, we will go and study to the next topic. We are going to study next part, and that part is nothing but called as the own capital is over. तो दूसरा part कौन सा है? Since this beginning of this lecture I will be telling, and the revising also. Own capital, and second is loan capital. That is the borrowed capital is there, that we are going to see. In that we are going to see first debentures, then we will see public deposits, we will see bonds, ADR and GDRs. Its money is borrowed from banks and other financial institutions, and last is there is the trade credit. So these we are going to study. So part of own capital is over. Now whatever part is remaining, that we are going to see in the borrowed capital. So let us go to the borrowed capital topic. What is borrowed capital or what is loan capital, and why is borrowed capital? अपना पैसा है तो फिर क्यों लेना, दूसरा borrow क्यों करना? Why it is need? Two sources of finance are there, one capital and loan capital. Look, one capital is there, then why we should go for loan capital? That question may arise in your mind. Okay, so friends, the question answer is only one capital is not sufficient. The apne paas whatever money is there may not be enough. Whatever we have got from equity shareholders or preference shareholders, or we have whatever collected in the previous year and we have plowed it back or reinvested in our business, it may not be enough. So only own capital is not sufficient to carry out all the business activities of a joint stock company. A company needs to borrow capital to supplement its own capital. Okay, so you require some more capital for more progress of the company, more machines you have to bring, more expansion of the business you have to do. For that you require. And then friends, every trading company is entitled to borrow money. All have to borrow money. However, it is a normal practice to have an express provision in memorandum of association enabling a company to borrow money. Memorandum authorizes company to exercise borrowing powers. So you directly cannot borrow. It should be written in the memorandum of association. On its own, you cannot. Before the company starts, you have to make memorandum of association, article of association. In that, you have to write. Okay. So powers which are written in memorandum of association provides you as to how and by whom these powers shall be exercised. The power to borrow money is normally exercised by whom? Board of directors of the company. The decision will take in the board of directors whether we have to borrow or we don't have to borrow. A private company may exercise its borrowing powers immediately after incorporation. However, public company cannot exercise its borrowing power until it secures certificate of commencement of business. This is a very important point. Okay, a private company may exercise its borrowing power immediately, but until and unless joint stock company gets the certificate of commencement of business, it cannot have the borrowed capital. So the capital may be borrowed for a short period of time, friends, or it can be for medium or long period of time. It is better to raise borrowed capital at a later stage of business company's business. So new company is there, so it is generally advised. आप ले भी सकते हो, आपका कंपनी है, नया बिजनेस है, फिर भी आप ले सकते हो, लेकिन जनरली इट इज एडवाइस के if it is taken in the later part of your after few years, then it is good depending upon the reputation of the company and how much profit it is making. When the company wants to expand or diversify its business and it requires additional capital, आपको additional capital का जरूरत है तो ही लेने का. This additional capital can be raised, friends, by issue of debentures, accepting deposits, bonds, loans from bank or other financial institution, etc. Friends, तो आप पैसा ले रहे हो तो इन रिटर्न क्या देना है? You don't have to give the dividend. बराबर, dividend is given to whom? The owners. बाहर से पैसा ले रहे हो तो आप लोन है तो लोन पे क्या देना पड़ेगा? ब्याज देना पड़ेगा. That is interest. Okay, so in return you are bringing the money from outside. So in return what you have to give? In return you have to give the interest to the source from where you are bringing this borrowed capital. Okay, so let us first see the first part of the borrowed capital. As we have seen how we can bring, what I have told you. First is debenture. So let us understand what are debentures. Debentures are one of the principal source of raising borrowed capital. Main borrowed capital का principal source to meet long and medium term financial needs. Over the years, debentures have occupied a significant position in the financial structure of the companies. The term debenture has come from the Latin word debere, D-E-B-E-R-E, debere, which means oh, हमें देना है, बराबर? It's our liability. The term debenture has not been defined clearly under Companies Act, but Section 2, subsection 30 of the Companies Act of 2013 only states that the word debenture includes debenture stocks, bonds, and other instruments of a company evidencing, evidence means it's the proof, evidencing a debt, whether constituting a charge on the assets of the company. Under it means the debentures, whatever you are purchasing from the market, whether it is secured or it is not. Secured means आप पैसा डाल रहे हो, आप दे रहे हो loan to the company. So in case if there is liquidation or winding up the company, then what about the loan which is given? Is it secured against some assets? So that is there, that is called as secured and unsecured. That will come in the part we'll see the types of debentures which is going to come very soon. Ordinarily, debenture constitutes a charge on some property of the company, but there may not be debentures at such things. Whatever, there may not be debentures, unsecured debentures may not be there. On paper it is there, but really company may or may not issue debentures, that is unsecured debentures. Secured debentures only are, because investors are also there, those who are giving you the loans to the company. So they will also think whether if I am investing or giving loan to a particular company, so my money is secured. Only if secured is there, people will take the risk. In return, what they are going to get? They are going to get interest on that. So let us see technical definitions. Palmer defines a debenture is an instrument under a seal evidencing debt, the essence of it being admission of indebtedness. TOFAM defines a debenture is a document given by a company as an evidence of debt to the holder, usually arising out of loan and most commonly secured by charge. So from both the above definition, Palmer sir and TOFAM sir gave us the definitions. So from these definitions, what we came to know, what are the conclusion? Whenever you write definitions, write the conclusion. कि क्या समझे हम डेफिनेशन से, क्या समझे हमने, क्या निष्कर्ष निकाला हमने, यह निष्कर्ष निकाला कि इट इज एन इंस्ट्रूमेंट इशूड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ डिबेंचर सर्टिफिकेट. डिबेंचर है तो सामने क्या होता है? डिबेंचर सर्टिफिकेट. सिमिलरली शेयर है तो सामने क्या होना चाहिए? शेयर सर्टिफिकेट होना चाहिए अंडर द कॉमन सील ऑफ द कंपनी. So from this introduction and definitions given by Palmer sir and TOFAM sir, we concluded, and it brings to the topic called as features. After introduction, immediately we will see the features of that particular topic. So let us see the features of debentures. So very first feature is a debenture का सबसे, from the definition we saw, wherever it's a certificate of indebtedness. It means what? Okay, it is a promise. Wherever company you have given the money to the company, so it's a promise कि आपने जो पैसा दिया है वो आपको काम हो जाने के बाद you will be reimbursed. Your money will not go as a bad debt. So first feature is the promise. Okay, then face value. So every share has got a face value. So similarly, every debenture also got the face value. The face value of debenture is normally little bit higher. It is generally in the multiples of 100 or in the multiples of 100 or multiples of 100 may it will be there. The time of repayment is also written. Debentures are issued with a due date. Any debenture may validity is there. Stated in the debenture certificate, the principal amount of debenture is repaid on maturity date. Priority of repayment, so debenture holders will get priority in repayment. And it's the assurance, it's a promise. In the definition we have seen, it is a promise, so assurance of payment. And then there is interest. The money is given as a loan in the debenture, it is invested. In return, what you will get? You will not get the dividend. Why? Because you are not the debenture holders, are not the owners, they are the creditors. Okay, they are investing. So in return, what they will get? Whatever they return, they will get is called as interest. So debenture के सामने आपको क्या मिलेगा? इन्वेस्ट किया तो सामने क्या मिलेगा? आपको इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा. And parties to debenture, there are three parties. Company party म्हणजे who are involved in debentures. Three people are involved. Who is there? Company is there. Debenture holders are there. but ये खाली दोनों नहीं है. But a third one is also there. That is called as trustees. Trustees म्हणजे they are taking the guarantee that you will get the money back when you are liquidation or when the winding of the company is given. And authority to issue debenture according to the Companies Act of 2013, section 179, subsection 3, the board of directors only. Once again I repeat, board of directors only. Board of directors will only have the powers to issue the debentures. Kanish bhai, can we go further with the lecture? Because still topics are remaining. Okay, Kanish bhai is not there. Features of debentures, still the topic is going on. Status of debenture holder. The debenture holder is a creditor of the company, as we have seen. So we'll fatafat, I will show you on the screen the points which we have gone. And at the same time, as I told you, debenture holders are who? Nothing but the creditors. And because they are not the owners of the company, they will not have voting rights. What they will not have? Voting rights. But their money is secured. So, and last point is issuer can be issued both by, who can issue? Public company or private, both can issue the debentures. So these are the features of debentures. And are they listed like shares? So debentures must be listed with at least one recognized stock exchange is very important feature. And last is transferability. आपको अगर debentures की जरूरत नहीं है तो like shares, can you do it? Can you give it to somebody? Can you sell it off your debentures? Yes, it's your property. So debentures can be easily transferred through the instrument of transfer. So as we have seen, so are there any types of debentures? So yes, there are types of debentures over there. So on the basis of security, on the basis of transfer, on the basis of repayment, and on the basis of conversion. Debentures are broadly classified into four groups. On the basis of security, we will see secured and unsecured debentures. On the basis of transferability, that is on the basis of transfer, it is registered and bearer. On the basis of repayment, we will see it is redeemable and irredeemable debentures. On the basis of conversion, we will see convertible debenture and non-convertible debenture. It means it can be converted into equity shares or preference shares according to the choice provided by the company. Okay, now we'll proceed to the next borrowed capital. Next point of the borrowed capital. Now what we have seen, debentures. So next is what? Popular is one, deposit. So let us first very quickly understand what is deposit. Public friends, public deposit is an important source of financing short-term requirements of a company. Companies receive fixed deposit from the public for a period ranging from 6 months to 36 months. Such deposits are called as public deposits. Under this method, general public is invited, they are giving invitation to deposit their savings with the company for the varied period or the period which is told in the given invitation. Interest, so you are paying the money, so in return what you will get? Borrowed वाले को सबको क्या मिलेगा? Interest ही मिलेगा. Okay, the company issued deposit receipts to the depositor. शेयर देंगे तो सामने आपको क्या मिलेगा? शेयर सर्टिफिकेट. डिबेंचर्स में पैसा आप डालेंगे तो क्या होगा? डिबेंचर सर्टिफिकेट. तो डिपॉजिट में आप पैसा डालेंगे तो क्या मिलेगा? डिपॉजिट रसीप्ट. डिपॉजिट सर्टिफिकेट नहीं, डिपॉजिट रसीप्ट. ओके. Deposit receipt is an acknowledgement of debt or loan by the company. Deposits are either secured deposits or unsecured deposits issued by the company. And as per section 2, subsection 31 of Companies Act 2013, deposit includes any receipt of money by the way of deposit or loan in the form of a company, but does not include such categories of amount as may be prescribed in consultation with Reserve Bank of India. The above expression has further elaborated by rule number 2, subsection 1, subpoint C of Companies Act, that acceptance of deposit rules 2014. These rules provide that deposit means any money in the form of deposits or loan of a company. However, deposits do not include the following: any amount received from the government, that is central government or state government, any amount, if you are receiving any amount from a banking company, वो भी deposit नहीं गिना जाएगा. If you are getting something from the foreign government or you are getting some international funds, वो भी deposit नहीं गिना जाएगा. Any amount received from the company for from any other company, दूसरा कोई company आप invest कर रहे हैं, so that is also not called as the deposit. Means it will be counted as some, it will not be grouped into deposit. Any amount raised by commercial, by issuing commercial papers, any amount raised by issue of bonds. Bonds, if you are there, that is a totally separately it will group, not in deposits. Any amount received in the trust, any amount received by the way of subscription to any shares or debentures, terms and conditions of acceptance of deposit. Further, when we will do the topics in 12th standard, is that chapter number 5 that we are going to discuss in that. So quickly let us go to the next borrowed capital, that is bond. So let us study the, let me first clear the screen for you. Yes, so we are going to go with bond. Bond is, what is bond? First understand, bond is nothing but it is a debt security. It is a formal contract to repay borrowed money with interest. Who is borrowing money? Company is borrowing money from the investors. So bond is nothing but it is a loan. The holder of a bond is a lender to the institution. He or she is nothing but a creditor of that company. And in return, what they will get? Simple. All the borrowed capital in return, what they will get? Interest. Debentures will be interest. Deposit will be interest. In return, you are investing. So in return, you will get interest. All bonds have maturity date and is paid in cash at certain date in future. According to Webster Dictionary, a bond is an interest-bearing certificate issued by the government or business firm promising to pay the holder a specific sum at a specified date. Thus, a company borrows money and issues bond as evidence. Evidence तो होता ही in return आपको proof कुछ चाहिए कि पैसा दिया है. Interest is payable on bonds at fixed intervals or on maturity of the bonds. And from these we come to introduction. में से we have come to the analysis that what is the features. Every topic with introduction is there. Next topic is the feature. So what are the features of bond? Nature of finance. It is a debt finance. It provides long-term finance. The bond can be issued for a period of 5, 10, 25 or 50 years. So let me clear the screen for you. Features of bond. And first we have seen these. Status of bondholder. The bondholders are creditors since they are the creditors and they are the non-owners. They are not entitled to participate in general meeting. They have no voting right and have no participation in the management of the company. तो return on bonds क्या होता है? Return on bonds interest मिलता है. Okay, and repayment, when the repayment is done, bond has specific maturity date on when the principal is repaid. So these are the 4 important points of bonds. And now let us move further to the 4th source of borrowed capital, ADR and GDR. ADR means American Depository Receipt and GDR means Global Depository Receipt. अभी ये new topic है, तो let us see now what is the meaning of it. ADR माने क्या, बराबर? GDR माने क्या? So let us see that topic. Friends, now we are seeing that shares are there listed in India with the stock exchanges. But these shares, if can it be listed with any stock exchanges outside the country? So that question may arise. It is listed in Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, that is BSE and NSE. So if you have to list it, लिस्ट म्हणजे आपको उसमें रजिस्ट्रेशन कराना है दूसरे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में आउटसाइड इंडिया, देन व्हाट टू डू? तो इज द कंट्री अलाउड टू डू? वेल अगेन फ्रेंड्स, फैक्टर्स आर देयर, इट डिपेंड्स. कोई कंट्री अलाउ करता है, कोई कंट्री अलाउ नहीं करता है. अगर कोई कंट्री अलाउ नहीं करता है तो दिस इज द वे टू डू इट. In India, the shares of a public company are listed and traded on the various stock exchanges like BSE and NSE, that is Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. With the adoption of free economic policy and due to globalization after 1991, some of the Indian companies shares are also listed and traded on foreign stock exchanges like New York Stock Exchange, that is NYSE, or NASDAQ, that is National Association of Security Dealers Automated Quotation. To list shares on these stock exchanges, company first has to comply means follow with policies, that is rules of these stock exchanges. The policies of these stock exchanges are different from the policies of the Indian stock exchanges. Therefore friends, those Indian companies which cannot list their shares directly on foreign stock exchange get listed indirectly using ADR and GDR, that is American Depository Receipt and Global Depository Receipt. ADR and GDR are dollar or euro denominated instrument. वो rupees इंडिया में rupees में होता है listed, so not necessary, it is not rupees is valid only in India, and now you're thinking of listing in other countries. तो उनके denomination whatever globally accepted currency is there. So generally what is the accepted globally currency? Dollar or euro. So in dollar or euro denomination instruments are they are traded in stock exchanges in USA and in Europe. Dollar if it is listed in USA and in Europe में euro currency. Friends, Indian company issues shares to an intermediary called depository bank. These banks are examples we will take: Bank of New York or Citigroup Bank act as a foreign depository bank. Okay, foreign depository bank are there. These depository bank issues ADR and GDR to whom? To the investor against these shares. So ADR and GDR represents fixed number of shares. These shares, friends, ADR and GDR are sold to the people in the foreign country. The ADR and GDR are traded just like regular shares. They are listed on stock exchanges. The prices fluctuate depending upon the demand and supply. We have seen in the features of shares. Face value होता है, market value होता है, issue price भी होता है. So market value depends upon the demand and supply, as we have discussed. Both ADR and GDR are depository receipts, but only difference is the location where they are traded. अमेरिका में ट्रेडेड होगा तो ADR, other countries except America, that is outside India, GDR, but only difference is the location. Okay, depository receipts other than, as I told you, America is counted as GDR. The company, now you are investing, so investment में return में क्या मिलता है? The company pays dividend in home currency to the depository bank, and depository bank converts it into the currency of investors and pays them the dividend. The exchanges on which GDR is traded are as follows. First is London Stock Exchange, second is Luxembourg Stock Exchange, NASDAQ of Dubai, Singapore Stock Exchange, Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So this is what is ADR. We have seen the points on what is, we have understood what is ADR and what is GDR. That is also one of the source of borrowed capital. Now friends, we will see the next source of borrowed capital is commercial. Now question will be, sir, कितने हैं? और तो commercial bank is there, and then two more are there, financial institution and trade credit, and that will be the end of the lecture. Next 5 minutes, friends, I will take, and I will complete this in next 5 minutes, please. So let us see now what is commercial banks. There are number of sources of financing, short, yeah, medium, yeah, long. Among these, commercial banks constitute the most predominant source. Generally लोन लेना है तो हम भाग के कहाँ जाते हैं? बैंक के पास. तो just like that, stock companies also. So commercial bank they are preferring. The most predominant source is commercial bank. Commercial banks play significant role in the corporate financing in India. Commercial bank, by introducing variety of deposit schemes, specially made only and only for individual depositors need, but they are having the schemes for the joint stock company also. Collect, हाँ, so how the commercial bank loan देता है, तो ये कैसा देता है? We are opening all the accounts, we are depositing our money in the saving account or current account or various schemes are there. So these money, whatever we are giving to the commercial bank, they collect it, and when the funds are there, so what they do, they give at a higher rate of interest to the people or the joint stock company. Especially we are talking from the joint stock company point of view, so we should think that they are giving to joint stock company, so they give at a higher rate of interest, and this is how they are earning. Banks कैसे earn होता है? So they take our money and give loans at a higher rate of interest. Commercial banks assist corporate enterprises by granting term loan to companies, by subscribing, they will subscribe also to shares and debentures of the company, by underwriting risk taking the issue of securities of the company. Commercial banks also play an important role in providing short term finance. They have become a primary source of financing and working capital in business fraternity of India. Banks have introduced many innovative schemes for disbursement of credit. There are overdraft facilities there, cash credit facility is there, cash loan facility is there, and discounting of bills of exchange. That topic we are studying in the accountancy in 12th standard of Maharashtra board. Discount bills of exchange, and how we can take the loans from commercial banks, that is scheduled banks, and other corporate banks. So other financial institutions can we, other than banks, can we take the loans? So yes, we can take the loans from the financial institutions also. First industrial policy was declared in which year? Immediately after independence in 1948. Very important objective. So first industrial policy was in 1948. For why it was there? First industrial policy for the rapid, just country free हुआ तो naturally for the growth of the country, the central government and state government have established special financial institution other than banks for providing industrial finance. These institutes provide short, medium, and long-term finance. The assistance of this institution has become very important for the newly set up companies and also for the ongoing companies also. Following institutions, we are going to see the institutions which give the assistance, and what type of assistance they give. They provide lending facilities. Just like commercial bank, they will subscribe to the shares and debentures, and just like commercial bank, they do the work of underwriting also, they lend money also, and they do the work of the guarantor also. So financial institutions are there. So these are the institutions which give the money on loan other than banks. So are there any types? So yes, there are types of financial institutions which are recommended and which are authorized by the government of India. So they are as follows. They are grouped into 4 types. First is development bank. Second is financial institutions. Third is investment institutions. And last is state level institutions. The names of development banks which are authorized by government is IDBI, IFCI, ICICI, SIDBI or SIDBI, whatever they tell, and IRBI. Financial institutions, my friends, RCTC, TDICI, TFCI, while in investment institution, LIC, UTI, and GIC, while in state level institution, SFC, SIDC. Now you will tell me, sir, you have given the all short names. What are the full names? So friends, IDBI means Industrial Development Bank of India, IFCI, Industrial Finance Corporation of India Limited, ICICI, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, SIDBI or SIDBI as you say, Small Industries Development Bank of India, IRBI, that is Industrial Reconstruction Bank of India. So these are the development banks. Okay, then financial institution will move towards the right, that is RCTC. First is RCTC. What is it? Risk Capital and Technology Finance Corporation Limited. TDICI, it means Technology Development and Information Company of India. TFCI, that is Tourism Finance Corporation of India Limited. Investment institution, we are dealing them with the regular life, so majority of you must be aware. Those are not aware, LIC is Life Insurance Corporation of India, UTI is Unit Trust of India, GIC means General Insurance Corporation of India, and extreme right में we will see the state level institution में SFC, that is State Finance Corporation, and SIDC, that is State Industrial Development Corporation. So these are the types, and now we will see the last part of the borrowed capital, that is trade credit. Full forms you have seen. So trade credit we are going to see. Friends, now as we have seen the example which we have taken before, for production we have to get the money. Now production cycle is there, it may take long, maybe 30 days, 60 days. At the similar way, when you sell the goods on credit and you give the goods to your customers, they will become your debtors. So debtors not necessary they will give the money immediately. They may give you in 30 days, 15 days, 1 week, maybe 2 months, or goes on according to the policy. So similarly, when you are purchasing the goods from your suppliers, those suppliers will become your creditors. So the creditors में आप कितने दिनों में पैसा दे रहे हो, that is also you will finalize कि आप creditors को कितने दिन में पैसा देना है. Similarly, 1 week, I would say 15 days, or maybe immediately on the spot you have to give, okay, to get some cash discount. Or if you don't want cash discount, then 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, and so on according to the terms of the purchase. But suppose if you are giving the money after 1 month or 15 days, so in that 15 days, what are you going to do? You are going to use their raw material, you are going to start the production, and maybe if the production cycle is little bit smaller, you may sell the goods, and if you are selling the good on cash, so you will get the cash. Getting? So still the raw material which you purchase on credit, आपने उसका प्रोडक्शन भी स्टार्ट कर दिया, गुड्स भी बना दिया, एंड उसको 15 दिन के अंदर आपने बेच भी दिया, पैसा भी आ गया, but still you have to give the money to that supplier, that is your creditor. So we got the period of whatever 15 days or maybe 30 days or maybe 60 days. So that period we got it. So these also is termed as one of the sources of finance. So that is the trade credit internal source. So friends, as we have seen, no business can be run without credit. अगर आप उधार नहीं देंगे तो आपका बिजनेस चलना बहुत डिफिकल्ट. एवरी टाइम यू कैन नॉट हैव शॉप्स है तो शॉप्स इज गोइंग ऑन cash counter is there, so you gotta do it. But business ka factor is different. Little bit credit you have to give. That is called as trade credit. Trade credit financing is a major source of short-term financing. So, although this is there as the last topic, very important. It's a very important part. Manufacturers, wholesalers, suppliers of goods, of material are called as trade creditors. They sell tangible goods to other business concern on the basis of deferred payment. That is, future payment credit is extended by this business concern with an intention to increase their sales. तो इंटेंशन क्या है? सेल्स को बढ़ाना है. The business firm extends credit also because of the custom that has been built up by over time. That is that period चले आ रहे हैं. So trade credit is not cash loan. वो आपको फिजिकल पैसा नहीं आ रहा है. डिबेंचर्स, डिपॉजिट्स, बॉन्ड्स, उसमें आपको फिजिकली आपको money is getting invested or given to your company, but your ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन you are getting that particular period for repayment of the money. Now these friends, in other words, we will say when goods are delivered by a supplier to a customer and the payment is made after some time, it is called as trade credit. In distributive trade, this kind of credit has a great significance. The small retailers to large extent rely on obtaining trade credit from supplier. It is an easy way of credit which can be obtained without signing any debt instrument. कोई भी instrument आपको sign नहीं करना है. It is readily available and it is the cheapest method of financing. Suppliers sell goods and willingly allow 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, 1 month, 2 months, whatever I said. Barabar, that payment period. They even offer discounts if the bill is cleared within a short period of time. Barabar. So that is called as nothing but it is a part of an internal source of finance, that is trade credit. And friends, this is how we have seen the sources of finance. So the last part we have completed of trade credit. With this, we end today's lecture. I thank all the students and all the today's viewers for listening to me patiently and participating virtually in today's lecture. Thank you all very much. Net has suddenly got very slow. Slow thing. It's coming. Here the network has got stuck. There is some problem in the network. The network is getting slow, or there may be some problem with the machine. I can't see the slides moving further. It has got stuck up. Here it is showing the close the program. So thank you all. Thank you very much for participating. Press come. Slides we are not able to see because there is some problem here with the machine. But I would like to tell you that today's reference material is taken from the textbook of Maharashtra State, and we sincerely thank all the authors and Maharashtra State board textbooks for providing us this wonderful study material. We sincerely thank the publishers and all the authors for of this textbook of SP of Maharashtra State Board. Once again, friends, let me take a chance whether it is starting. Once again, let us take a chance, friends. Give me just anyway. Once again, friends, this machine is not working, but then at least you can able to hear my voice. So once again, a very big thank you to all of you, and especially to my respected senior teachers, Professor Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, who is the chairman of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter, Lion Professor Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, who is the general secretary of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter, and a special thank you to Professor Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, who is the treasurer of Indian Accounting Association Thane branch. These are all my three teachers, and I am really fortunate to have studied under all these three. They are at a very high post in Mumbai University. They all are recognized PhD guide, and Dr. Arvind Loar sir is my EMPhil guide. So it is a great privilege and fortunate thing for me as a student. Okay, I am there among all these three, and their blessings are always there with me. Thank you, Dr. Arvind Loar sir. Thank you, Dr. Nishikant Jha sir. Thank you, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much, sir. With this, once again, I thank everyone for listening to me patiently. Thank you all. Keep smiling, everyone. I will tell my students today. 1 minute. Let me see last time whether I can present the screen. Some problem with the weather or something of that. So it's raining over here, so maybe there is a network problem. Congestion in network is there, but it is fortunate that you are able to hear me. Thank you, friends. This machine is not working, or maybe there is a network congestion, something or the other. But it is very fortunate thing that it was not between the lecture; it was there in the concluding part of the lecture. So thank you all, friends. Thank you very much. We end today's lecture, and in the next lecture we will see further, okay, how there is shares are there. So how the shares will be issued. You are in the show, okay. Share screen. Just a minute. Lecture I have concluded, but then if certain queries are there from someone, just waiting for that. Students are requested to give me just a few couple of minutes. We have little bit overshooted in the time today, but then certain things are there, friends, which are out of our control. It is not seen. Yeah, yeah. From here it was remaining. Machine is again once again getting slow. Maybe machine or maybe network. I left the meeting. Yeah. Can you see now on the screen? Yeah. So this was remaining screen. Now you can see my screen. Yes. Okay. So thank you. This was remaining the concluding part. See, no activity can be achieved by any person alone. So it is our prime duty. Already verbally I have thanked, but we have made the slide. So let us see that it's a very big thank you to the Maharashtra State Board of Bureau of Textbooks. Special thanks to the authors. And this is very important. Once again, official thank you to our teachers, respected Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, who is the chairman of Indian Accounting Association, Thane chapter. Thank you once again to Lion Dr. NISHIKANT JHA sir, General Secretary of Indian Accounting Association, Thane chapter. And special thank you to Professor Dr. KULDEEP Sharma sir, Treasurer of Indian Accounting Association, Thane chapter. Thank you to all my teachers for giving me a wonderful opportunity to remain along with you all.